That reminds me, I want to get this out there. I just sent you guys an IM with this, and I think I may have put this in the sound pulls. There is apparently, my understanding is that via the Twitter handle AIPAC Tracker, the Israel lobby is pressuring Chuck Schumer to bring the so-called Anti-Semitism Awareness Act. This is H.R. 6090 and Senate Bill 4237 to a vote in the Senate. People need to contact their senators, particularly if it's Chuck Schumer, but even more, their senators broadly, to stop this bill. It is a so-called Anti-Semitism Awareness Act. People are aware of anti-Semitism. This is, sort of like a blatant intimidation tactic and an attempt to conflate rejecting Israel's policies with anti-Semitism. Honestly, if I see, I keep seeing Gentiles, with all due respect to my Gentile friends. I have many friends who are Gentiles. I want to make that clear. I think Gentiles are great. They've contributed a lot to our society. But if I see one more Gentile tell me that I'm anti-Semitic because I am critical of Israel, because I am, because they consider me anti-Zionist, and I certainly am against the idea of an Israel that is a ethno-nationalist project. I don't, when Donald Trump said that Israel won't exist in 2 years, if Kamala Harris gets elected, I presume, I don't know, he means that it's going to either be, well, there's two things he could mean. One could be that there is a nuclear weapon that goes off and literally annihilates everyone in Israel, presumably also in the entire region. Or, and that's probably the one that he's saying, or there's another option, that Israel as we know it does not exist. Now, I think it's unlikely this is going to take place in 2 years, but that Israel as we know it, as an ethno-nationalist state, which has an apartheid regime, which occupies, in addition to the apartheid regime, occupies millions of people and brutalizes them, and in the instance of people in Gaza, is committing a series of acts that are genocidal. And according to the definition of genocide, at least as a legal matter, we don't have a specific ruling from the international or to the IJC, but it's being assessed. And certainly experts have said there has been enough genocidal acts by Israel to say that they're engaging in a genocide. So you could also contemplate the idea of this Israel not existing in 2 years. It may be called Israel. It doesn't mean that all of its participants are going to leave. I imagine some Israelis with full citizenship that exist now may decide to leave if society becomes a multi-ethnic society where everybody gets a right to vote. But I don't know that would happen. It doesn't make it any less of a colonial project than the United States, but also, not everybody in the United States is going to leave because it's a colonial project. But the point being that anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism are not the same thing. Anti-Semitism and being anti-Israel are not the same things. Anti-Semitism and critique of Israel are not the same things. And the last thing I need is, Gentiles weighing in and telling me that I'm anti-Semitic.
Do you at least hear Mike Huckabee out?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it takes. There are others, I think, who say this stuff. But Call your senators, 202-224-3121. 202-224-3121. There is a definition of anti-Semitism that comes from the International Holocaust some association that really is not Remembrance Association, I think it is, that does not speak for Jews. It has become basically taken over by people who want to define being anti-Israel or even critical of Israel as anti-Semitic. So myself, my bat mitzvah daughter, my other members of my family, all of whom have been either bar or bat mitzvah, all of whom will be skipping work on the first day of Rosh Hashanah. Won't have to for Yom Kippur because Kol Nidre falls on a Friday night this year. They're all anti-Semitics too. It's going to be awkward and shul this year. 202-224-3121. Do not criminalize criticism of Israel. Do not conflate anti-Semitism with criticism of Israel. We'll put that in the podcast and YouTube description. Swifties for Emma. I'm anti-Semitic. Sam, you're not the Pope of the Jews. I will wait to hear Ben Shapiro's response and then blame you for the death of Christ and all the bad weather. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.